Alright students, welcome to today's e-learning lesson for March, I guess that would be the 16th, Monday, first day of e-learning, and we're going to talk about here what happened to the guy who jumped from a 100-foot tower into a large glass of root beer. Now, in saying this, what we're doing is we're basically factoring to reduce. So we've done that before, in which we were looking at dividing functions. That's something that we covered back in chapter 6. But right here, we're just going to be factoring both the top and the bottom. So be reminded, a lot of ways to factor. We always want to look for the GCF first, followed by problems like ones we're going to get to where you might use the two parentheses. All right, so we're going to start here with number 4 on the paper. And so if we're looking here at number 4, we can see it's x squared minus 49 all over 3x minus 1. So what we want to do here is just think, how do we factor this? Well, on the top, we can see that it just factors to x minus 7 and x plus 7. On the bottom of this fraction, we always want to be thinking about this first, but we want to be thinking about the GCF. So if I am thinking about the GCF here, looks like 3x minus 21, a common factor of a 3 is there. What's left over is x minus 7. Now, be reminded, what we're looking for is common factors. Factors are connected by multiplication signs. So when we're doing this, we want to cross off factors that are the same on the top and the bottom. So if I'm looking at the top and the bottom, it looks like there's an x minus 7 on top and bottom, so those are no longer there. Our final answer is just whatever's left over on the top, x plus 7. Again, I could include the parentheses, not necessary, and it's all over 3. Okay? One nice thing about these joke worksheets that we're going to do over the next couple weeks is all of the answers are on the paper. And so we don't need to try to guess to see if it's the answer. It might even be helpful that, I'm getting to part of the answer, but I'm not sure what the rest of it should look like. And then I can see that somewhere on the page. Now, please be reminded, I am asking you to show all work for these next 2 weeks. So you can do it just like I did right here on the page. You could do it on a separate sheet. But this is what I'm looking for. This problem right here would be considered showing all work because I factored the top and the bottom. I showed what canceled out on the top and the bottom, and now I'm showing what's left. Okay. Again, we could verify that the answer is on here. Give me a second. I'm going to adjust the camera here. It might be a little bit shaky. But if we just look down here at letter I, okay, letter I, you could see right here that is the answer that we just got. So that's the expectation here. All right, let's try one more. If we're looking back here at the problem, I want to try number 14. All right, so I'm going to move this around here a little bit. We're going to try number 14. And we're going to think about how do we factor this. So again, we're looking to see how the top and the bottom factors. I notice that this is a quadratic trinomial. So we know that quadratic trinomials, after I look for a GCF, are going to factor to these two parentheses here. N squared minus 5n minus 36 factors to n minus 9, n plus 4. Be mindful that these two numbers, they have to multiply to be the last, and then they have to add to be the middle term. Okay? Now, one nice thing about looking for the answers here, and again, I still would have to show work, even if this is my thought process, is, okay, I know I have an n minus 9 and an n plus 4 on top, right? And maybe you thought the bottom was easy to factor, so you could do it that way as well. If I look at the answer choices that I have here, one of them has an n minus 9 on top, and there's no other one that has anything close to what I have. Again, you could do the same thing with the bottom. Maybe you started with the bottom And then you could look at the bottom of each of them to see what's going to happen. So if my answer is going to hold true, if my answer is going to be letter F right here, that means that there has to be an n plus 4, right? Because that's what's going to be left. Now think about what the other parenthesis has to have. If the other parenthesis is going to cancel with the n plus 4, doesn't there have to be an additional n plus 4 to cancel out? We could verify that these two numbers multiply to be the last number there. We could even verify that they add to be the middle right here. All of that holds true. So what do we have? Well, if we just cancel out common factors, we could see that our final answer is just n minus 9 over n plus 4. Now it looks like I'm kind of taking some space up that would go into problem 15 here. So please be mindful that maybe I'd want to show the work for number 15 on the back side. All right, here is the assignment here. We're about 6 minutes into the video, and the assignment for this paper is I want you to do just the odds. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, and in addition to that, we have 2 other problems of 4 and 14. All right? So those questions right there are the expectation for this worksheet. Make sure that you show the work in whatever paper that's necessary, whether it's maybe some on the front side, some on the back side. That would be perfect. And make sure that you check Canvas for a way to know how to turn those in. All right? Enjoy.